Well, I have a 16-year-old son, and my now ex-wife and I agreed. We really kept him away from the cell phone stuff.
Wow.
In fact, I don't think he had a cell phone of his own. He might have been 13 or 14. And that was her idea. And I was still against it. I was like, he doesn't need one. I didn't have one till I was 37.
Right.
He doesn't need one. But she made the point, and this is what sold me, is, when we were kids, we had the corded telephone, or at least I did. I don't know if you did on the farm.
You
had a phone.
mean, it was cordless by then.
Okay, cordless.
Essentially,
Okay,
it's still plugged in the wall.
Right. And so we were able to call our friends if the phone line was available.
Mm-hmm.
But he can't do that because he doesn't have his own phone. I'm like, okay, good sell.
Okay.
So he's got a phone, but we control the Instagram. He gets 30 minutes of Instagram a day.
Okay.
And it might be 30 minutes of social media, period. I think Instagram's the only thing he's on.
Okay.
He has a Facebook account that we made, but I don't think he's ever on it.
Yeah.
But, when he turns 18 and he can make his own decisions, I'm curious to see.
Yeah.
So we tried to keep him in that older generation frame of mind.
Yeah. And I mean, full disclosure, I don't have a teenage son. I don't have any kids, but if I had to choose, I think right now that would be a big discussion my wife and I would have to have going into that is let's limit our kids' exposure. I think it's important to control their online presence. And so get them a Facebook page, get them a brand or a handle or, however you think you need to do that, just so nobody else does. And then it has some longevity. And then when they turn 18, you can turn the keys over to that, and let them do what they will. But I think you need to equip them to handle face-to-face interactions in the real world and communicate verbally, because so many kids are interacting with a screen far and above and way before they actually engage with human beings. And it shows. I mean, you go to your typical coffee shop, those baristas just, may or may not have those social skills of interacting with customer service experiences. So
yeah, and you're right. And at the same time, you need to spend time in your own head. Yeah, I think. I mean, yeah. I think, you're relaxed, you're in a chill state, it's just you and your thoughts, or at least that worked for me.
Yeah.
And I still do that. I'm very self-aware of my emotions and my goals and who I think I am and what I'm good at, what I'm not good at.
Yeah.
And I think, I don't know, you can't do that when you're distracted all the time.
You can't. And I see it
with anything, let alone cell phone.
Well, exactly. And in my generation, I have a lot of friends who you can just tell, and we talk about it all the time, and I have to watch it myself. You get addicted to checking that Instagram. You get that dopamine hit every time you get a notification. You're addicted to social media, and you definitely can be. And you get in this consumer mentality of I'm just intaking a lot of this content, and so other people are doing my thinking and feeling for me. If you're comfortable being alone with your thoughts, thinking big things, I mean, that's the first thing, is to disengage somewhat from what everybody else is telling you, figure out what your message is, and then start creating content for other people to consume. And that's how you influence society. That's how you shape the world, is being okay with each of us has our own individual course and thought process on all of that stuff. And so when we share that on the social network, I think that's a good use of that, is creating content and putting that out there for other, people.
Yeah. Yeah. And I agree with all that. And I think at this point in history, I think humanity, or at least humanity who has cell phones, because not everybody has a cell phone.
Right.
Not all groups and countries have cell phones.
Yeah.
I think. But I think we're in a transition stage, because it's still the shiny toy, is the cell phone and the social media, and even the internet to a degree. I mean, the internet's been around about 30 years.
Right.
But the social media is what, 15?
Yeah.
2008, 2009. I think it got big. I got on Facebook on 2011, 2012, I think. It was my first.
I think I joined in 2008 or 9-ish.
Okay, so you were a couple of years sooner.
But I'm older than Google, and that's, that hasn't been around that long.
Same.
So.
Well, and I think, here's my theory, that, and I have no evidence for this, it's really an opinion. One of those things that I spend time in my head that I come up with.
Yeah.
I think we as a species is getting used to this thing, and we don't know what to do with it yet.
Yeah.
That's why we're so addicted to it. And I think there's some people, and I'll probably put you in that category because I'm getting there, that I'm aware of the doom scrolling, that I know, and sometimes it's fun. Sometimes you just need a break.
Right.
Doom scrolling doesn't hurt anybody.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden an hour goes by and I could have been reading my book that I was reading, or I could have been working on a new episode. So it's my belief that we're now shifting. There's some people that are still going to be addicted to that stuff, and then there's other people that are kind of going back to the old ways because they realize the value in that. So we'll see what happens. I mean, over the next 3, 5, 10 years, we'll see.
And I'm open to the idea that maybe human beings weren't intended, our neurology wasn't developed to be as informed as we are right now. I mean, if anything bad happens anywhere, you immediately know about it in your pocket. It used to be you'd find out about things through conventional means or a network of other humans. And now we have technology and an algorithm, this almighty faceless thing that's deciding what content we need to consume when. And a lot of it, I'll be honest, is designed to amp up our reactivity, our stress. It plays with our emotions. And so you can choose to disengage from that, just step away and live your own best life. And I think there's a lot of people who are seeing the value in that.
You're right, even though it's still hard to choose to get away from it.
It is.
But when you're aware of a problem, that's kind of the first step toward changing things.
Yeah, and I think if anybody's watching this show or engaging with these types of conversations, they're already aware that, that they're kind of a commodity, they're a product, and their attention span is being monetized by those systems to keep them engaged.
Yeah, and I completely agree. And we were talking about mainstream versus new media.
Yeah.
Which is the podcast, the internet, the emails, the social media. As much as this is a shiny new toy and we still don't know what to do with it and we're still affected by it, I think it's an amazing vehicle.
Huge opportunities.
Because and I know we're going to talk about this later when we talk about your profession, but there's been these institutions for decades. The mainstream media, politicians, structure of government in general, universities, even Hollywood to a degree. There's these, and major medical, there's these big institutions that currently run things, but with social media exposing some of their deficiencies, I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that and I know you're going to come up with some discussion with medicine that I'm looking forward to hearing. But I think it's a great time in our lives where we can question these big institutions and come up with better alternatives. Yeah.
We've kind of put the collective consciousness online and in very powerful platforms. I mean, you look at everything that's happening from Doge to just Twitter or X and all that stuff. It's really encouraging because I think I'm a big believer in humanity in the long term. I think we're going to figure a lot of things out, and there's just been a collective elevation of our consciousness and of our frequency, of our expectations of government institutions and all the big pharma, big media, big whatever. We expect more, and I think people are organizing in ways on those platforms that are holding them accountable. So it's encouraging to see.
Yeah, and I love what you said that I forgot how you just phrased it. Or I'll rephrase it. That the human spirit eventually wins out.
It does.
That the dopamine addictions, they got us for now.
Yeah.
But eventually it won't have us.
Right.
And that's what I mean by I think this is a transitional time in history because we're this stuff is so new that we're just reacting to it rather than having it be part of our lives. Yeah. As a tool that's helpful.
Right.
And I'm making broad strokes here. I'm not saying everybody is one way or the other.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. I think eventually on an individual and on a collective level, humanity wins.
I agree. I believe that.